Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. U.S. doctor and another aid worker who contracted the Ebola virus disease in Liberia have been discharged. President Goodluck Jonathan receives support, assures delegates that their recommendations will be implemented. All Progressive Congress holds its next meeting in Abuja, urges government to suspend curfew in Adamawa State for the governorship by-election. And Israel kills 3 top Hamas commanders in fresh airstrike in Gaza. Just to remind you now that all our top stories are on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. And we urge you to interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions. The President has given the assurance that his administration will do everything necessary to implement the recommendations of the 2014 National Conference. President Goodluck Jonathan said this during the closing ceremony of the National Conference in Abuja, where he formally accepted the conference report and brought the conference to a close. He also appealed to the different arms of government and all Nigerians to play their relevant roles to ensure that the process leads to a new beginning for the country.
So as it was in the beginning, so it is in the end. A little over 5 months ago, President Goodluck Jonathan had declared this conference open, asking delegates to find solutions to the numerous challenges confronting the country. He arrives again to receive the report of the conference. It's a ceremony that had in attendance representatives of different arms of government. The chairman of the conference said the process, which was predicted to fail, overcame every challenge before it.
Mr. President, we did not try to ignore or bury our differences. We addressed these differences while respecting the dignity of those holding these differences and sought to construct solutions which would become building blocks for a just and stable Nigeria.
The conference chairman then formally presented the report to the president. The president thanked the delegates for the hard work they had put into the task they were given.
It is now very clear that as Nigerians, we have devised a way of addressing and resolving our differences amicably. We dialogue and dialogue until we agree. This is most heartwarming indeed. The results of the conference have shown that we are not enemies, neither are we antagonists. No matter our religions, regions, states, and tongue, this conference has reinforced what I have always believed, that Nigeria is here for our collective good.
He also assured them that their work won't be in vain, as the report will be implemented.
You have done your patriotic duty. We, the elected people, must now do our own. As I receive the reports of your painstaking deliberations, let me assure that your work is not going to be a waste of time and resources. We shall do all we can to ensure the implementation of your recommendations, which have come out of consensus. So if 492 eggheads, respected leaders from this country have come up with these documents, these reports, definitely those of us in the executive arm of government and the parliamentarians will respect this report. We shall send the relevant aspects of the recommendations the Council of State, and of course the National Assembly that are even with me here, because both arms of government will work together to make sure that this report is transformed into our laws.
Some of the delegates applauded the president's speech.
This conference, I must admit, must not have addressed all the anxieties in Nigeria, but we have substantially addressed most of the nagging issues that threaten national unity.
There are different types of resolutions. Some are within the remit of pure executive action. And I think many of us expect the most rapid response on those types of items.
It's a heartwarming speech. It gives people and all of us cause to have courage in the future of this country, especially the expression that they intend to do his best to implement the decisions which have been taken.
We look forward to him fulfilling the promise. He has invited the other arms of government, the legislature, the judiciary, whatever needs to be done by whoever is in a position to do anything to ensure that this conference goes the next step. It is implemented. I think it is going to be a great service to the country.
So as one stage concludes, another stage will now commence. Focus will now shift as Nigerians will be looking forward to see when these recommendations will be implemented. Recommendations that this conference believes will lay the foundation for a new Nigeria. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
Now, the All Progressive Congress has demanded the suspension of the 12-hour curfew imposed on Adamawa State ahead of the by-election in October 2014. Rising from an inaugural meeting of the National Executive Council, the APC spokesman Alhaji Lai Mohammed told journalists that the party does not believe there will be a transparent and fair election under such conditions. He said members of the party also agreed with the call by the Independent National Electoral Commission that hooded security operatives should not be used during the 2015 general elections.
The All Progressives Congress has just concluded its inaugural meeting since its last convention in May. And at the heart of discuss here is the upcoming by-election in Adamawa State this October. The National Executive Council of the All Progressives Congress has expressed concern over the curfew in Adamawa State ahead of the by-election for governorship position. This curfew, according to the party, might prevent a transparent and fair election.
We are saying the curfew must be suspended for the period of the election, because especially in the northern part of the country, so in the northern part of Adamawa State, by 6 p.m. the curfew is on. Now, we are not confident that under such a condition you can have a free and fair election.
Apart from the curfew suspension, the party promised to address the attitude of security operatives and public officials who align themselves to a particular party. He equally maintained that INEC's stance that hooded security operatives be disallowed from the general elections must be adhered to.
If a security agent is coming to enforce laws, I think the citizens have a right to know who he is, who he represents, which organization he represents, and more about to even see his face. I mean, I think INEC chairman was quoted as saying that even some INEC officials were arrested by overzealous security men. And you see, the story of Osun election, has not been told completely.
The party decided to employ a modified direct approach that will ensure the largest participation of its members during elections, adding that the party will not miss any member who has chosen to defect from the party. Meanwhile, members of the APC now await the primaries coming up in a few weeks from now, which should lead to the victory at the polls come 2015. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
The Ebonyi State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of 11 lawmakers of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly. Well, this follows a petition to the Commissioner of Police by 4 other legislators alleging that the 11 lawmakers forged their signatures during the purported impeachment of the House Speaker, Chukwuma Nwazunku.
The crisis in Ebonyi State House of Assembly started about 3 weeks ago when 18 out of the 24 members of the House impeached the former Speaker Chukwuma Nwazunku and installed a female Speaker, Helen Nwabasi, in his stead.
There was nothing like impeachment. Therefore, there is nothing like 2 speakers in the House of Assembly. We've said it to our members. The Speaker, Right Honorable Nwazunku, was never impeached. He still remains the Speaker until maybe a court of competent jurisdiction says otherwise.
However, the crisis has taken another dimension when 11 out of the 14 members that were said to be part of those that orchestrated the impeachment of the Speaker were arrested by the Ebonyi State Police Command.
They forged the signatures of Honorable Oliver Chukwuma Nwachukwu, Vincent Nwibo, and Nenna Nwene, including that of the Honorable Speaker. Also, that they have been threatening violence and threatening the lives of these honorable members who are petitioning.
From 21st till date, it's barely a month, and nobody had laid such allegation before the court of law or before the police. It is just recently, after the case has been visited, after the case is on in the court, that they rose up one day, maybe from their slumber.
Meanwhile, the embattled Speaker of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, Mr. Nwazunku, has called on his colleagues in the House to give peace a chance, even as investigations into the matter are ongoing.
I believe that we are resolving the issue. Within a very short time, they will understand that the interests of this state must supersede personal or group interests.
It is 3 weeks into the crisis and still counting, and with the 2015 general elections around the corner, it will be best for all the feuding parties in the Ebonyi State House of Assembly to resolve the impasse so that members can return to their primary function of lawmaking.
When the news at 10 returns, Labour Minister Emeka Wogu is optimistic about Vision 2020. Do join us again.